I want to tell you my secret now.
Okay.
I hear podcasts.
In your dreams?
No.
While you're awake?
Yes.
Podcasts like on Spotify and Apple?
Yes. But I hear them on iHeart and on YouTube as well.
How often do you listen to these podcasts?
All the time. Especially on a Wednesday. The Visit is next. Welcome to In the Mood for a Movie. I'm your host, Jez, and joining me as always, Brad, B-Rad, what's up?
How are you, Jezza?
Fozwatch, he's our coach. Coach.
I'm wearing the jersey tonight as celebration for it. He's locked in, 2029.
Yeah. There we go. And lucky escape, the great escape for the Blues last week.
Man, what a game. I was literally on the edge of my seat. I was at Paul's place with a few other mates and we were just screaming. Like at halftime, I'm like, they're down like, 20-6 or 20-4 or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so they need to score 20 points without Queensland scoring any points. So there's no way that's going to happen. Turns out it does.
I thought the no try for Cam Munster was BS.
Yeah.
In the first half.
Yeah, there's a couple of decisions that weren't the best, but the big one, what do you think? Your send off?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Knocked him out, shoulder to the head, like it's a send off all day. He wasn't even looking at him when he hit him.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was a send off.
He turned his head away.
It was pretty dirty, and I feel bad for Manly because both their guys got injured that were playing the Origin. So.
Yeah, god damn it. And I saw on the chat afterwards, all the Manly fans were like, "That's all right. Let's just not pick any Manly players for the rest of the thing." Yeah. I did think Laurie Daly was going to get fired at halftime.
I thought that.
And Tedesco, Teddy was pretty useless until the kick at the end, but apart from that, he had a shocker.
Yeah, I thought so too. I didn't. Yeah, he was good under the eyeball, but I was questioning if we made the right call going back to Teddy after a couple of years without him. But I mean, I guess if you look at that last try, probably the right answer.
Yeah. Big sport month as well. NBA Finals. You got a tip?
Spurs, baby.
How many?
Spurs in 5, I reckon. 4-1.
Spurs in 5. Okay.
What do you reckon?
Knicks in 6 just sounds good, but I think the Spurs as well. I think the Knicks may be one player too short on the bench, but not sure. And then FIFA World Cup kicks off. Who's your tip?
Well, I read today that America completely are writing off Australia, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the boys can do.
God, I hope we beat them.
I don't know. I was having a look at the squads, man. I don't think there's that many good, strong squads. I probably, when that happens, I sort of default to Germany because they're usually a pretty good team. Yeah,
they're seeded 9th or something. I saw. I'm a sucker for England. I hate England in every other sport, but England in soccer, there's always get me, always pull me in.
I always go for England too.
But Brad, most importantly, happy 10th anniversary or happy 10th episode, not anniversary, episode.
10th episode. They say 90% of podcasts don't make it to 10 episodes, so here we are.
All right. Well, here's a couple of other things that are celebrating, I guess, 10 years. So TikTok, September 2016. Pokemon Go, remember that?
No, that was a Pokemon Go for me.
Yeah, all the idiots running around trying to, you got to catch him,
hit by cars.
Yeah, this was fast. I was hoping this would be the case. OnlyFans, 2016.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Apple AirPods, Brexit vote. That really stuffed up my plans. Donald Trump won and the Cubs break the curse.
Can I go back to your Brexit plans? I always remember you telling me that when you retired, you wanted to retire onto the beaches of Italy, and you've got the UK citizenship. So obviously through that, you would be able to go anywhere in Europe, and that could have been a reality for you. But
yeah. The joke is I always wanted to, I think south of France, but anyway, south of Europe, but now it's Southampton. So, so there you go. Yahtzee! Before we get into it, this is a movie podcast. And today we have picked a movie, The Visit 2015, which is on Netflix, I think until end of June. And today both of us haven't seen it. So again, Brad, Yahtzee!
Well, that's a plot twist for everybody. Normally one of us hasn't seen it, but this is a good one to do for the 10th one because no one's seen it. In true M. Night Shyamalan theme, no one's seen it. So there's
exactly
a twist,
bit of a twist for everybody, but we spoiled it at the start, I guess. And on that, there are going to be spoilers. So you've heard it here. You have been warned. There will be spoilers. Brad, plot summary, please.
A teen filmmaker and a younger brother spend a week with their grandparents they've never met, documenting everything for a family reconciliation project. But the visit quickly turns disturbing as Nana and Pop Pop's behavior becomes increasingly erratic and dangerous. When the kids discover the truth, the trip spirals into a frantic fight for survival.
Awesome. Thank you. So 2015, a couple of notable things that happened in 2015. The Paris Agreement, not going too well. US same-sex marriage. The Iran nuclear deal, also not going too well. European migrant crisis. I also think that's not going too well either. Nepal earthquake. Unfortunately, 9,000 people killed. Water on Mars. NASA discovered water on Mars. FIFA corruption scandal. Swiss and US authorities arrested the FIFA executives. Top 5 big cultural trends. That dress, was it blue or was it black or was it white or gold, Brad?
I had that down as well. I had blue and black. What did you have?
Well, I thought it was blue and gold, but I'll have to go back and have a look at the dress. So,
Option
there
3.
you go. Yeah. Next fit, Netflix and chill was a phrase. Hoverboards were invented, but I haven't seen anyone riding any hoverboards around Annandale. Hotline Bling, Drake's music video clip launched. And Uptown Funk was the top song of the year, spending 14 weeks at number 1. Any other trends or anything else you want to talk about before we talk about the movies that were released that year?
Yeah, I got a couple of sporting ones for you. That's the first time Golden State Warriors won their first NBA title in the Stephen Curry era.
Great.
The Patriots won the Super Bowl with Deflategate. Remember that?
Yeah.
The balls are flat. The balls are flat. Back in Australia, Malcolm Turnbull rolled Tony Abbott in a leadership spiel to become Prime Minister. So poor old Tony had spent 6 years trying to get in and got done when he was in there. And sadly, I don't know if you remember the Bali 9 executions. They happened as well. So
yeah. I actually used to work with a guy who every icebreaker, his claim to fame was he hired all the Bali 9. I think he was working for an events company, and
I wouldn't be saying that.
he employed them all. Well, I guess he didn't know that they were all going to meet. Oh, sorry, not the Bali 9. Yeah, the Bali 9. They smuggled drugs into
the drugs.
Yeah, those guys. So movies that were released that year: Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, Jurassic World, Fury 7, Avengers, Age of Ultron. You can see there's a lot of franchise movies. Minions, Spectre, Inside Out, Mission Impossible. Again, all franchise movie. The Hunger Games, The Martian. There you go, first original. Mad Max Fury Road. What a movie. The Revenant, Spotlight, The Big Short, Sicario. I love it. Ex Machina, Room, Creed, Carol, Brooklyn. Any other movies?
No, I think you've covered it all there. But yeah, to highlight your point, I think that's we're well into the trend now of trilogies and, sort of comic book, sort of movies, inspired movies, I'd say.
Yeah. So M. Night Shyamalan, I think this is his first movie in a little bit, or maybe a little bit of a redemption story for him, because he'd had a couple of flops, which we'll go into. I do feel, and this is my own opinion, everybody, when M. Night releases a movie, it's somewhat like an event to me. Like when we went and saw Trap together, I do quite enjoy it, and I get quite excited when I see M. Night movie. What were your thoughts on the film, Brad?
Yeah, great. You sort of echoing back off what you said there. I think it was a bit of a comeback moment for him after he came off a bit of a rough run of The Happening, The Last Airbender, and After Earth. But I mean, I did like The Happening, but I was.
What are we going to do about all the bees?
You would have thought plants could be so dangerous. I thought it was a return to form for Shyamalan. So like it was a tight sort of low budget movie. And it sort of gave me, Blair Witch vibes, which I'm sure was probably an inspiration for the movie. But I think at the end, the overarching sort of comment I'd say is a classic M. Night movie. It's like something that when I think M. Night, this is the kind of movie that I think he'd kind of make, and the kind of movie I think he enjoys kind of making. There's more to it that we'll get into in production and things like that as well. But yeah, I did like it. I thought it was, I'm almost want to go into my theory corner right now. But I'll give you your thoughts first.
Okay, great. I'm just going to take a step back before we go forward. Just back to The Happening. So I remember listening to a podcast and they were just crapping on it, like how terrible it was. I watched it. I didn't love it. Look, it was fine, but I thought it was pretty bad as well. But interestingly enough, my daughter at the time would have been like 3 or so when I watched it on a streaming service, and she was scared of the wind. So every time it was windy, she would like freak out if we're on walks or something. And I was like, did he have like a 3-year-old daughter when he made this movie? And like, that's where he got the inspiration from. I would be like, oh, look, it's windy. And she would freak out. So yeah, Brad, just like you, overall, I thought the movie was a delight. It just goes to show kids what you can do with a small budget. It kind of gave me everything I wanted in a horror. So it gave me the jump scares and it gave me the 3 fucks. Do you know what my 3 fucks are, Brad?
No.
Okay. Holy fuck. What the fuck? Fuck me. If a horror
Okay.
movie does that and I think or say that out loud, then I'm enjoying it.
I've written down one of those fucks later. So yeah.
I think what I like about horrors as well is that they can bring in comedy to it. And I think he did it. Like one of our favorite horror movies, or one of my favorite horror movies, is Army of Darkness, Bruce Campbell. And then even some of the Halloweens are pretty funny, like looking back on Halloween. So maybe as comedy, as horrors age over time, they seem a little bit more funny as well. But yeah, I did enjoy that. Did you
That's
enjoy the jump scares? Or you can
Yeah.
go to that first and then I'll ask you that question.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, just piggybacking on what you said there, and I think we talked about it in the last sort of 2 pods in a row. Like when we're talking about action movies, they don't have to always be like an action, bang, 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 bang all the time. And to your point, like with horror movie, it doesn't always have to be like jump scare, jump scare, jump scare, like horror. It can be like a clever story behind it as well. And I think M. Night does that really well. He'll scare you, but he'll tell a really good story as well.
Yeah, and like even sort of near the end of it, when she's walking down the stairs, Becca, and Nana's just standing at the bottom of the stairs, I was like, oh, this is kind of freaky.
Yeah.
But if it was just a normal movie and your Nana's just kind of standing at the stairs, maybe not. Obviously, she's kind of standing in a certain position, but
Yeah.
he can play quite good kind of tricks on you. Like as soon as you get into the house, you're like, oh, okay, here we go. Starts feeling a little bit you know, mysterious or whatever. Did you enjoy the jump scares? I think there was two or three.
Yeah, there was, yeah. And it's funny because he set the tone and he set the vibe for the movie that when the first jump scare came, I actually started curling up on the couch because I knew something was going down. So yeah, I did enjoy them. I don't like full gruesome horror. Like, I think the first Saw is like a very clever movie, but then the rest of them, I just feel like you're just watching people get tortured to death. And like, that's not for me. Whereas, in this movie, I think clever jump scares, is very prevalent in this. I quite enjoyed them.
Okay, yeah. When Becca jumps out and scares Tyler, I knew it was coming. I was like,
Yeah.
first time watching it, I was like, this is like someone's going to just jump out of that out of that cupboard. And then when it happened, I was like, oh god. I don't want to go too far into the budget at the moment because I know you're the numbers man. But again, it's just a really great sort of what you can do with like one setting. Like there wasn't really any sound stages, I don't believe. Like they're just on a farm. They use the farm and then they use an apartment in Pennsylvania or Philadelphia or wherever they're living. One thing I do love about his movies is the twists. I didn't see the twists coming. I thought Nana was going to have split personalities or something like that. Did you see the twist coming, Brad?
Well, yeah, great question. And I'll go into my theory corner here only because you've nailed my theory every week for the last few podcasts. But, to your question, did I see the twist coming? No, I didn't see the twist coming. And I think, that Rolling Stone famously said that M. Night is the guy that makes horror films with a twist. So if you go and see an M. Night movie, you know there's going to be some twist. So I think more so than in any other movie that you're going to go watch, you're looking out for the twist and you're trying to guess the twist through the movie. So the fact that he has to purposely deceive you to cover the twist, I thought at one point that the Nana was a witch, like, with the oven scenes, sort of gave me like Hansel and Gretel kind of vibes.
Yeah.
I thought the papa, it maybe was like a werewolf because he seemed like really strong and he like overpowered that other guy. And he's sort of like, pooping and marking his territory. I don't know. But then, I guess we'll spoil the twist now. Like it just turned out to be, a couple of escapees from a mental asylum. But I think he purposely uses deceiving techniques, throughout the movie, so that you don't realize what the twist is going to be. And because he does that so well, I feel like I enjoy the twist that much better. So I think he knows that we're looking for the twist and he purposely tries to deceive you from what the actual twist is.
He does, but then watching it the second time, I was just like, there's a clue. There's a clue.
Yeah.
There's a clue. Like there were so many kind of clues that you pick up on, which we'll go through, I guess, like when we go through the scenes. But yeah, I think that's one of the things I enjoy about the movies. I go along and I'm like, oh, okay, I might get a couple of scares here, but what's the twist going to be? Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So shot like a documentary, which was different. I felt like there was a lot of inspiration from Blair Witch, Paranormal Activities, other type of movies like that. I think looking back on it, I would have preferred a mixture of some shots that were, I guess, just like a directorial shot, like kind of a fly on the wall, and then other shots being the camera. I felt that like some shots were a little bit unbelievable or like as if the camera would be on for this conversation or something like that. So I wasn't 100% sure there, but I did appreciate what M. Night was trying to do. I did think it was something different, as I mentioned. What did you think about the way that the film was shot in that kind of documentary style?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I like immediately when I started watching this movie, like, that sort of first person camera kind of view, like my first interaction with that was probably Blair Witch Project. So, I got huge vibes from that. I don't love it like throughout the whole movie. Like you said, I think I would prefer a few scenes where it is that, that helicopter view, that fly on the wall kind of thing. And, I don't mind mixing it up. But he went with this and he was, obviously convinced to do this. And, I think it did work. So, I don't love it 100%, but I understand what he did and I thought it worked.
Yeah. The kids were fun. I thought Tyler was the right amount of annoying. God, he looked familiar. I looked up his IMDb. I still couldn't pick where I'd seen him before, but yeah. I thought the kids were really fun. The grandparents I thought were terrific, like sweet and seemingly normal, but then at times like what the actual hell. As I think one of the kids says during the show, they're like they can be normal, and then I don't think they say go full weirdo, but they kind of extract that. But yeah, overall, I thought that the characters themselves, and I know we'll get into the actors and stuff a little bit later, were really fun. Did you going back to the twist? Did you pick up on any clues the first time?
No, I didn't. All I picked up was that I knew that it was coming because it went, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm like, all right, it's getting towards the end of the movie, so I know it's coming. But when it was revealed to me, I did one of your three fucks. I went, fuck me. Like, I had no idea that it was going to be that. And, I was almost like inside, I was secretly applauding because, you got me, M. Night. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, no, me too. And you knew stuff was happening because he does the old Chekhov's gun, like when Pop says, "Don't go down to the basement." So my first thought, okay, what's in the basement?
Yeah. So, yeah. We go to bed at 9:30. Don't wake up. Okay, what's going on at night then? Yeah.
I know we kind of spoiled it before, which is fine. We spoil on this show. Were they a couple? Or, like, were they inmates? Were they a couple that were on the run, or they individual? I felt like they were a couple. I just wanted to see that you felt the same.
Yeah,
as in Pop and Nana.
Yeah, that's a good question. I didn't really think about that, but you could tell they're obviously close, so they have some kind of relationship. So yeah, I think on reflection, I think they probably were a couple.
Sundowning, one of the better symptoms or disorders for a horror movie to highlight or to showcase. I thought it was a great symptom, especially when they looked it up and then they kind of, you would, as you said, they would kind of maybe put in some things, but then they would do things to distract you or go, okay, well, it can't be that, because when they're like, oh, she's got sundowning, and then Becca explains what sundowning is when she looks it up on the internet, and
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, okay, cool, well, it's, it's
It's
not that.
explained.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like she's got it. But what do you think of using sundowning?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know of what it was, and obviously it is a real thing. And I like that, like to your point, that they did explain what it was. So, I think we'll go into production later on, but I think originally that was potentially going to be the name of the movie, Sundowning. But yeah, I thought it was clever. I thought, like you said, I thought, it added to it and then it explained it. So then you sort of take that away from your memory because you're like, okay, I didn't need to know that fact
Yeah.
watching the movie.
Just to explain to everyone who hasn't seen the movie, so sundowning refers to a pattern of increased confusion, anxiety, and agitation that peaks in individuals with dementia as daylight fades and late afternoon, evening. So Nana was probably the scarier one. Maybe at the end, Popper might overtake her a little bit, but I wanted to get who's your scariest female horror character?
I went next level with this. So I thought the girl in The Grudge. I did a Mount Rushmore. So I had the girl in The Grudge, I had the girl from The Ring, and then I had the girl from Shudder, the Japanese version. But if you're going sort of American movies, I went The Nun. I've never seen the movie The Nun, only because I saw The Conjuring, and The Nun scared the shit out of me. So I said, as a conscious decision, I'll never see The Nun. But yeah, they're the four that I had. Who did you
Okay.
have?
So yeah, I went let's go 7-1. So Regan from The Exorcist, The Grudge chick, but I had her at 6. Maybe I need to see The Grudge again. Esther from Orphan. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I think
I like that movie.
maybe I put Esther down at 7 actually now looking at it. Nana, I had Mother from Psycho. Does that count?
Yeah, that is good.
Not a female, but
Yeah.
Annie Wilkes from Misery, and then yes, Samara Morgan, Lady from the Ring.
Yeah, God, yeah, that's scary, that one. Get back in the TV!
Yeah. So Papa loves board games, and so does Brad. So Brad, I didn't ask you this, but I wanted your takes because I knew you wouldn't need any preparation from this. What's your favorite board game? And then I've got what's your favorite family board game? And I can see all the board games stacked up behind you there.
Yeah, I'm in the midst of a moral quandary. I do have a couple of favorite board games. I think my two favorite would be Archipelago and Zaya, Legends of the Drift System, just because they're pretty fun. But the best family board game, probably Catan for me, just a classic.
Okay. Does Uno or 500 count, or are they card games?
Oh, I do love 500. Yeah, I don't know. I classify them more as card games. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess you need a
I guess
board.
it fits in the board game sort of category.
Okay. I had Jaipur, which is my favorite 2-player game.
You got me onto that. That's a good one.
Diplomacy and Monopoly, but maybe I'm a little bit boring. I want to try some of those mafia games and things like that. But Diplomacy, I remember as a young kid, Diplomacy and Risk I had
Yeah.
was great. So talk about the cast. So M. Night Shyamalan, so one of our favorite directors. I think you wanted to sort of go through your rankings of directors. I've done a tier system, so a little bit different. I'll let you take the reins here. Where does he sit for you?
Yeah, so I did a bit of a deep dive into this one, and obviously there are quite a lot of very impressive directors. I'll go 1 through 5. I had Spielberg at 1, Quentin Tarantino at 2, Christopher Nolan at 3, James Cameron at 4, and then I did have M. Night Shyamalan at 5. So I know I've got Martin Scorsese, I've got Ridley Scott, David Fincher, all that, Stanley Kubrick, Charlie Chaplin, Alfred Hitchcock, and even the Korean masters, Bong Joon-ho and Park Chan-wook, who I'm going to get into some Korean movies, Jeremy. They're on the way. But yeah, I did have him at 5. I think the floor, you got the ceiling and the floor. I think the floor of his movies is at such a high standard that, like, I think I can list off, multiple movies that I have watched that I quite enjoy. So yeah, I do quite enjoy his movies.
Can you go through your 5 again, please?
Yeah, so I had Spielberg at 1, Tarantino at 2, Christopher Nolan at 3, James Cameron at 4, and M. Night Shyamalan at 5, with Scorsese right behind him at 6.
Mate.
No good?
Oh, it's fine. But this is why I did tier, because I couldn't do a top 5. I had to do tiers. Look, I think you're missing a couple. PTA Stanley Kubrick.
Do you know what? My theory corner originally was, is M. Night Shyamalan your PTA? Because I know how much you love PTA, and I love M. Night Shyamalan. So,
So I had, my tier 1, so I did tiers, and look, this is just pretty rough. I think I'd need months to think about this. But Spielberg, Scorsese, Tarantino, Nolan, Kubrick, Ridley Scott, PTA. No particular order. Night, I've got in tier 2. So tier 2 for me, Nancy Meyers, Rob Reiner, David Fincher, Hitchcock, probably should be in tier 1, Francis Ford Coppola, Brian De Palma, Michael Bay, Tony Scott, M. Night Shyamalan, James Cameron. But I feel, to me, Kevin Smith and M. Night Shyamalan are sort of similar. Like, I feel like they're event movies for me because I just really like them, and they're a little bit, I don't want to say indie directors, but like on the verge. They're like big, well, maybe Kevin Smith's more indie than M. Night, but like kind of bigger movies.
Any love for Charlie Chaplin and Clint Eastwood?
So Charlie Chaplin and Clint Eastwood is tier 3. So I'll give you my tier 3. Sly Stallone, Charlie Chaplin, Woody Allen, David Lynch, Peter Jackson, Clint Eastwood, John Carpenter, Guillermo del Toro, George Lucas, Kevin Smith.
George Lucas, that's a good one I missed. Yeah. And there was another one you mentioned there that I
John
thought
Carpenter?
No, who's the third one? Woody Allen, yeah. Even
Sly
Spike
Stallone?
Lee. Spike Lee.
Shit, yeah. See, look, I even forgot about Spike.
Yeah,
so Spike's there
to your point, you really do need like a couple of weeks to sit down and really rank him. It'll take a while.
I'm just going to put it in, so for historical value, I've actually put Spike Lee in. So M. Night. So he added the night in at uni. I saw that in the research, lol. As I mentioned, I really enjoy majority of his movies. I understand why everyone is mixed, or it's not for everyone, and I can admit there has been some stinkers. However, I really enjoy his overall style. As we've been talking about the twists, I appreciate the originality as well, and also that he's, on majority of his films, a writer-director. Like, if you're a writer-director, you have mad respect for me. 2-time Oscar nominee for Sixth Sense, so I think he got it for, like, original screenplay and for Best Picture. I do enjoy that he puts himself in his movies as well, but a blight not in this one. One of my favorite facts is that he's an uncredited writer on She's All That to get the movie greenlight. Which I read about in one of my favorite books, Oscars Wars, by Michael Schulman, and he was also a writer on Stuart Little. So the man's got range. Brad, what are your thoughts on M. Night?
Yeah, like you said, I think he hits for some people and he doesn't hit for other people. For me, he hits. I really enjoy him, and I feel like he's one of the few that get me. Like, I think Quentin's in that category as well. He's one of the few that get me, and I think his movies are so original. Like, there's nothing else like him. I find, for the vast majority of them. I think for this movie in particular, I was watching a few clips and everything of it, but, he literally mortgaged his house after he had such a sort of, not really good run, and he really backed himself to give this one a crack. He put his, ass on the line really to see if he still had it. So yeah, it was, all kudos to him to give this one a crack. But, I really enjoy him. Like you said, he sort of cameos in the movies, sadly he didn't cameo in this one, but, I find his movies just so interesting. Like, they're really, like you said, when we went to see Trap, I was so excited because I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to see. And, I think most of the time it never really disappoints.
So, because we probably would have had the exact same Mount Rushmore, I asked you to rank his movies, or the movies that you'd seen. So I have ranked the movies that I've seen. I haven't seen them all, but my ranking. Do you want me to go through my ranking first, Brad?
Yeah. Hit it away.
Okay, so I'll go from first to worst. So Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, The Village, Signs, Split, Knock at the Cabin, The Visit, Glass, Trap, Old, Lady in the Water, The Happening. Again, some of the movies aren't so great, but I really enjoy them. Like Old, I really love, and it's my third last movie on the list.
So that's your third overall.
It's my third worst.
Third worst. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Sixth Sense first, The Happening last. So Sixth
Okay.
Sense, Unbreakable, The Village, Signs, Split, Knock at the Cabin, The Visit, Glass, Trap, Old, Lady in the Water, The Happening.
Okay. I'll give you my list from best to worst. So it's so tough to separate the two, but I will separate it. I went Sixth Sense, Signs, Unbreakable, Old, which I do quite like. Split, The Village, Glass, The Visit, Trap, and then Trap, and then The Visit, and then Knock at the Cabin. I'm so sorry, mix that up.
Knock at the Cabin last.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, not that I'm a writer. I thought I could have done a much better ending. I know.
So do you know what the original? So he based it. So it's a book. He took it off a book. Do you know what the original ending is?
No, what?
So the original ending is the daughter dies, and the two boyfriends or the couple are like, "F this! I don't want to live in a world that would let my daughter die," and so they just let the world
go to shit.
Yeah, apocalypse or whatever happens at the end. Which I thought they should have stuck with that. They thought it was too dark.
Well, I was really enjoying the movie, and then what I thought was really stupid was the fact that they made the choice not to kill anybody, so the world was going to end. The world started to end, and they're like, by the way, you got like 5 minutes to get out of this, so you can just kill one of them and then restore the world. I'm like, no, they had their chance to make the decision. You can't just go back and be like, by the way, you get out of it now. I didn't like that.
Yeah, maybe I need to watch it again. I just love Batista.
Batista's great. I love Batista too.
So the cast, look, I'm only going to talk about the 4. If you want to talk about the 5th person as well, I'm happy for you to bring them up. A couple of Aussies, Aussie. We've got 2 in the cast, Brad. So Olivia Dijon and Ed Oxenbould, the 2 kids, are Australian. So Olivia playing Becca, 16 at the time. What are your thoughts?
I thought she was quite good. I did enjoy her performance. It was very believable. I thought she showed maturity while still being a kid, which I did quite like. And like you said, shout out to Aussie. I know there was thousands of American children that were auditioned for it. But you know, Charlemagne obviously loves Australia, so we gave it to a couple of Australians.
Yeah. Both of them, I no idea they're Australian. I thought they were both American, so both their accents are great. So this is her first major role in a movie, and she was cast from audition tape. It sounds like a lot of them were cast from audition tapes as we get into it. So she'd never met M. Night or most of the cast before filming. I enjoyed her character as well. Definitely a master filmmaker, and I do enjoy seeing a budding film person in a movie. Definitely stuck to the craft, like even when Pop's attacking her. Didn't drop the camera. Make sure that the show must go on. I thought she was really great as well. So Ed Oxenbould, 13 at the time of filming. As I said, God, he was recognizable, but I couldn't tell where he's from. The rapping that he did was mostly improvised. I don't know if I'm stepping on production. He reminded me of like a little bit of a white rapper from like Scary Movie, you know, when they had the 8 Mile parody. Like I thought that at the time, but I enjoyed that, like the chemistry of both kids. I thought he was fine. I thought he was okay. Like he was for what the character needed to do and who the kid was. I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, he was all right. Probably not his fault. I've got issues, maybe potentially we'll talk about later with the character, but yeah, I mean, he's all right. But I guess this goes back. We'll go into the production later. Well, you know, I'll save it for production.
Okay. Deanna Dungan or Dunungan. So 63 at the time, Nana. So Tony Award-winning stage actress. So I saw that he wanted a lot of no names in the film. This is her film debut at 63 years old. So never too late, Brad. There's still a chance. I thought she was fantastic. I loved how she was able to be sweet and then full creepy at the same time. And she was able to kind of just mix between the two characters. Like when she comes out of hide and seek and she kind of just dusts herself off, she's like, okay. And then she just walks off. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So what were your thoughts, Brad?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed her performance. I thought she was fantastic. Like you said, I thought she was great, in those first sort of, opening scenes where she's like the lovable Nana, like, making, food like any Nana does. And then turning into, something completely different, like at night, or in other scenes like the hide and seek and stuff like that. Yeah. And to your point, 63, first time, starring in a film. There's still, 20 years for me to make my mark. So hopefully M. Night listened to our intro and, don't need to audition and we can get into something in the future. But I thought she was the best out of the four.
Okay. Yeah. M. Night's big fan of the pod. Peter McRobbie, Pop. So also a veteran stage actor. When I first saw him, I was like, oh shit, that's Jack Twist's dad. Do you know who Jack Twist is?
No.
Brokeback Mountain.
No, I haven't seen it.
I don't know about you, but I need more than one high altitude fuck a year. It was Jake Gyllenhaal when he's yelling at our man Heath Ledger. Loved his performance. Thought he was able to play like a sensible granddad. When he's like, "Oh, lights out at 9:30," and he's explaining sundowning to the daughter. Well, actually, explaining sundown to the daughter. We'll go into that a little bit later. Like he was able to sympathize with the kids and what's going on with Nana and stuff. But then he was also like just able to be a complete weirdo. And I was just cleaning my gun. What did you think of Peter McRobbie?
Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed his performance too. He was my second favorite, I think, out of the four. I thought he was great. Yeah, he interchanged between his characters, like Deanna did as well. I thought he did that quite good too.
Do you want to talk about the mum?
Catherine Han. So, man, like when she came on, like every scene that she's in, like I'm like, oh wow, like I got a real presence from her. So obviously she's probably the most famous out of all five of them. So I can tell why she's had extra work. But yeah, she was, again, like you didn't need to have her. You could have, just hired a no name or whatever. But she earned her stripes in this.
Yeah, great. So production. Most interesting thing I found was that the film was edited into 3 films. So comedy, horror, somewhere in between. I believe this was the horror version, but it kind of felt like to me it was somewhere in between because I got a lot of good laughs out of it. Where did you think this film was? Comedy, horror, or somewhere in between?
No, I thought mainly, I didn't really get too much comedy vibes. I know there were a couple of comedic moments, but I thought mainly horror/drama.
Did you find any interesting production stories?
Yeah, I know Charlemagne rented this house for a year, so that he could, keep his costs low and sort of add authenticity to this movie. Also,
it was shot over like 15 days, though, wasn't it? It's a pretty quick shoot.
Yeah, it was a quick shoot, but he rented the house for a year, so I think maybe he was sort of, living in it or working in it and things like that, sort of prepping up for that. But yeah, I think also he wanted to keep the kids to play sort of a sincere role and not as like horror kids. So yeah, I thought that worked kind of well. And apparently the grandparents, the actors, so Nana and Papa, those night sequences, especially with Nana, I researched that they were sort of done in one sort of take, and they were mainly sort of improvised.
Well, as in the 3 nights she just did in the one.
Yeah, so like when she sort of she's naked and sort of scratching and things like that, like they sort of just did that in one take. They didn't, I think maybe they probably felt bad. They didn't want to make, doing, multiple takes on that.
You bet I remember when she was naked.
Oh, yeah.
Box office. So the biggest box office movies of the year: Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, 2.7 billion; Jurassic World, 1.6 billion; Furious 7, 1.5 billion; Avengers: Age of Ultron, 1.4; Minions, 1.6. Brad, what are the numbers for this movie?
So M. Night Shyamalan, we touched on before, he sort of mortgaged his house to make this movie. So the budget was about $5 million. That must be some house. but worldwide it grossed not about $98 million. So, the result was, I mean, it's not billions of dollars, but it was a massive profit, for Charlemagne. And, it was, a successful sort of, return to form, for him that kept him moving forward, to do his other movies like Split and things like that to sort of complete his full comeback. But, I mean, obviously, 20 times your money, that's a pretty good investment.
Just goes to show, kids, you don't need big budgets to make entertaining movies.
No, definitely not.
Oscars and awards. So didn't win any Oscars and awards. I've got a couple of thoughts though. So Best Original Screenplay, you think it could have been nominated for that? So before you answer, so the winner was Split, no issues there. They knew and they let it happen. But nominees, Bridge of Spies, Ex Machina, Inside Out, Straight Outta Compton. Are we sure about Straight Outta Compton? Look, enjoyable movie. I don't really like biopics, but, there's some good rap ones like Notorious and 8 Mile to a certain extent. But you think The Visit could be in there for original, original screenplay, Brad?
Yeah, I did have a nod. I actually wrote the same thing you did. I had a nod to M. Night Shyamalan for Best Original Screenplay. So I think that's probably would have been his best category or his best chance at having a crack at it. Ex Machina, I do like. I have seen that movie. I quite like that. That was nominated but didn't win. That's probably maybe on par or slightly better than The Visit. But yeah, like you sort of mentioned, Spotlight was the one that won. But yeah, I did think that he could have been given a nod for this one.
So, just a fun fact for all the viewers. So our dad used to own an electrical store, and so I used to love NWA when I thought I was a hard man. Well, I still do love NWA, but I used to call Compton Crompton. So I used to say Straight Outta Crompton, which is an electrical joke / pun for everyone out there.
Yes.
I have a theory corner here now, and then I have a theory corner later. So if this movie was a real life event, do you think that they'd win Best Documentary at the Oscars?
Oh, that's a really good question.
So
before I think okay, no, you go, and then I'll give you my answer.
So there's two. There's Best Documentary Feature, Best Documentary Short Subject. Short Subject is under 40 minutes, so I've cut that out. So Best Documentary Feature. So Amy Winehouse won that year. I feel like we're in with a chance. That
would be the most boring documentary. I'm sorry to all you Amy Winehouse fans, but if this was a real story, this would definitely have beaten that.
So, favorite scenes. So I have got a couple. Let me know what you think as well. I've got more than a couple. Opening scene. I love the shot of the mum smoking out from outside the window, and they do a lot of those shots where you're sort of inside looking out perspective throughout the movie, which I really enjoyed. What was it? Mum fell in love with a substitute teacher and left home.
Yeah, she did. Against the parents' will, she went out and married this man, which ultimately ended up being probably not the best decision in hindsight for her. But I mean, she got 2 beautiful kids out of it. But I guess parents were right. But yeah, I had that too. That she was it's obviously setting up the reason why she hasn't spoken to her parents in 15 years.
Yeah, and I also enjoyed how she said she brought up the phones don't work on farms, so already kind of putting a couple of clues or things out there about, if things go wrong. So the train, I enjoyed learning about the brother hating the gems, but I most enjoyed when he was doing the rap. Did you see the lady that was behind the conductor? She was just friggin' loving the kid rapping.
I did see that. I was trying to work out if that was intentional or she was just an extra that was laughing or something.
I thought it was a little bit of both. And when I saw that he improvised a lot of his raps, she must have been going like, "Oh, awesome!" Like even when Tyler does the rap for Nan Nan in the kitchen, you can kind of tell that the two ladies,
like pineapple upside down cake.
Yeah. The 2 ladies are kind of impressed, and then even Popper's like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Is that like is that like breaking character or what?" So then followed into meeting the grandparents. So was the sign a bit of a giveaway, or was it sweet? I felt like it was a bed sheet that said like "Welcome Becca" and
yeah,
Tyler.
I know. It was believable for me. I can imagine if you hadn't seen your grandparents ever, and grandparents are older and they're going to do, silly and funny and quirky things. I thought it was a good fit because, they obviously have never seen them before. So yeah, it was cute. It was cute. I liked it.
So before we kind of go into anything else, but like just when they're in the first room, when they're in the room for the first time, when Tyler's unpacking and she's filming him, that's exactly that's exactly how I would unpack if somebody was filming me. How it's kind of being a bit of a smart ass and playing. She's like, just be natural, and he's like, So first night with Nana. So what, curfew's at 9:30 or bedtime's 9:30? What, 10:15? We're already hungry for cookies. What's going on?
God. Oh my God. I didn't even think about it when you put it like that. That's the best.
So what, old Nana spewing and walking around? Oh my God, the mess. I will say, when I thought of that, I was like, you're doing it all wrong, lady. You got to walk backwards. I remember one time being severely drunk and I started throwing up on the walk home. So I started walking backwards and it didn't splatter as much.
Oh my God, you got me twice in the one scene.
Any thoughts on Nana or the first night with Nana?
Yeah, I guess that goes to pardon for all the extra explicit in this episode, but it goes to your 3 fucks. I guess that's the first what the fuck moment when she's walking by. It's like, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? What's wrong with her? Like, yeah, that was really cool. I quite enjoyed that. That's one of my favorite nighttime stories, if that makes sense.
Okay. Then we go to Tuesday. So no mention at breakfast about Nana at all? No one wants to bring it up? She's just there, served breakfast. Okay.
Did you eat the same dinner I did last night, Nana?
You better hide, my ethnically inclined friend. So hide and seek with Nana. Here I come, Tyler. Here I come.
That was so good.
I'm going to get you, Becca. I'm going to get you.
That was so good. And like, she was even moving something like it wasn't human, like the way that she was moving. I thought that was like a real, I'm trying to work out is she a bit weird or is she a bit possessed or, is she, I don't know. I was trying to, Leanne's in the other room going, she's an alien. Like, you don't know what she was. Like, it was really cool. That was a really good scene.
He does a lot of that crawling in a couple of his other movies. Like, I'm pretty sure in The Village, someone's crawling. And then even in Old, when the lady's getting all her joints
kind of broken.
Yeah, she starts crawling. Like, it's not the first and not the last time that he does that. So then we get the Dr. Sam visit. I just liked how he started reciting some acting scene that he'd done one time. But then I liked the little kind of Easter egg he dropped, the excitement down at the hospital, probs about the escapees or whatever. But, we haven't seen them in a couple of weeks or whatever. So like another clue from M. Night or Dr. Night naming the psych ward, another little bit of a Chekhov's gun, I guess.
Yeah, no, that was cool. And, like you said, I sort of missed it the first time I watched it. But, now, like when you're watching it the second time, especially obviously we're doing this pod, we're trying to like look for all those clues and everything like that. So it was like a clue in plain sight that I missed the first time.
Finding Pop's diapers. So I like how he goes into the shed straight away. There's no kind of messing around. But Brad, your action if you found your granddad's diapers in a shed?
Yeah, I'd be extremely concerned. I don't understand. If he's doing that, that's totally fine. If one day when I'm old, that might happen to me, but I'll be doing what I'm doing with Percy now and wrapping it up into a little plastic bag and chucking it in the bin. So I don't know if storing it in a shed is the right answer.
I love how the kid yells out singers' names instead of swearing. Like, I definitely need to put that in. So when he runs outside and he's like, Selena Gomez or whatever, as he's
Beyonce.
Like, yeah. So the next scene is one of when I was talking about before how like I don't think he needed the camera. It could have been like a fly on the wall type scene when Nana's telling Tyler about Pop's nappies. I don't think it would be believable that he's filming that.
Yeah. You're right. Like, why would he? He'd be having like a serious conversation with Nana. Yeah.
Pop taking out the stranger in front of the kids. He's been looking at me or he's following me.
Yeah, that was good, and that's when I sort of started guessing that, oh, maybe he's like a werewolf or something like that. I was trying to, mark his territory with the poo, and I don't know. I was just trying to work out what he was. So
D-
he seemed like he had like upper body strength for like an old dude and stuff. So yeah, and there was something definitely amiss there.
What about the guy? What the hell, man?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
So Nana night 2, so scratching on the walls. I would just be hiding in my bed. Would you have opened the door to start with?
Uh, I mean, curiosity kills the cat, as they say. I probably would open the door, but after I saw that, I'd be on the phone to mom begging to come home.
Nude scratcher. Yeah, so on talking about that, following on, so Wednesday, are we more than a 1 on the worried bad scale when we're talking to mum? Like after, what's this? It's 2 nights, but I guess, yeah, 2 nights and 2 kind of incidents, the vomiting and the scratching. A little bit more than
Uh,
a 1?
well, if it's a scale of 1 to 10, I'm at about a 15. I'm absolutely petrified as to what's happening here.
Yeah. So Pop telling Becca about sundowning as he's dressing up for the costume party.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Getting on his
good.
tux. It's
Yeah,
so good.
yeah, it was
I just
good.
I wrote this down, like, or even the second time I'm watching, I'm like, my God, these people are just nuts. Like, how did I not pick up on this on the first time? Like, they're just
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, I know, right? I know. It's funny because I was just writing it off as dementia. So
Yeah. So on this, when they're kind of talking to the mum and they're like, oh, it's a 1 on the Richter scale or whatever, and the mum's like, oh, they're just old. Like, people are old. It got me thinking, like, geez, like using old people as characters is great because yes, you can pass off, oh, they're just old if they're
Mm.
weird, but they can also be really nice and sweet. And then the next time they can just kind of like say things or do things to you and you're like, oh my God, what the hell's going on now? Like they can just flip, but people will just be like, oh, they're just old. Like it's nothing's wrong with them.
Yeah. It's like that's just what happens when people get old, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, and just carry on.
I did enjoy Nana just sucking down a fag in the living room. There wasn't much said, but I just added it in. So the first oven, get inside the oven. So I liked what you said, like straight away fairy tale memories. Like love how the scene just makes you go there straight away.
Yeah.
And then it's also you just see the back of their heads the whole time. You never see the front
Yes.
of their faces, which I think is a little bit freaky. And then seeing her like clench the cloth, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, what is going on?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned that because, yeah, I had that too. Like, yeah, as she's clenching the cloth, I'm thinking to myself, she's trying to resist closing her in the oven and turning it on, like, because she really is a witch and she really just wants to cook this kid.
Yeah. And then when she interviews Nana the first time, what did you think that the third question was about the damning memory or the damaging memory? She's like,
Yeah.
oh, the first one's like, what animal would you be? I can't remember what the second question is. And the third is, why did mum leave? Like,
Yeah. Not even Sacha Baron Cohen doing Ali G sets people up on the third question. He'll warm them up for like 10, 20 questions and then hit them up.
discouraging the brother from like hiding the camera after that as well into what I'm call Nana doing the flying lady. So just doing laps up and down, then into the
The
crawling.
Rolls Royce flying lady.
Yeah, what did you think of the flying lady?
Yeah, it was good. I know you haven't seen Weapons, but it reminded me of Weapons. So Weapons obviously came out later than this, but yeah, it was good. And again, it showed that she's pretty spry, like she's quick on her feet. So again, I was thinking, supernatural, some kind of, you know, strength or speed that these old people shouldn't have.
Yeah. I did enjoy then so we're on to Thursday now. I enjoyed Tyler reenacting the flying lady when they went on the walk into
Yeah.
Nana just staring at the well. I was like, it's all starting to unravel. And then as I mentioned, like a little bit later, she's just staring she's just standing at the bottom of the stairs as Becca's walking down. I liked when the kids interviewed each other and you learn about the trauma about the dad
Yeah.
leaving. Like Tyler thinking the dad left because he froze in a football play is pretty brutal, but both kids like having trauma about the dad.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. It gave a bit of context to, I guess, the abandonment that they've sort of felt with their dad versus the abandonment that their mums probably felt with their grandparents. So I thought that was a nice sort of like tie in. So yeah, and it was sort of, made you appreciate the characters a bit more. So I did enjoy that.
Stacy visiting, again, another scuttlebutt, just talking about like the psych ward and like kind of coming from there and things like that. Nana laughing on the chair. Got to keep the deep darkies in a cave. And then
Yeah.
choking herself with the scarf.
Yeah. It's all starting to unravel really, like on that Thursday afternoon, it's really starting to unravel hard.
So Becca then agrees to hide the camera downstairs. I have no idea when the grandparents go out. I don't know where they're going, but when they go out, why wouldn't you go down to the basement then?
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking about that the second time I watched it. That like when the people are showing up to visit and they're like, "Oh, they're not home right now." I'm like, "Well, hang on a second. Who's supposed to be looking after these kids during the day?" Like, I had a little question about that.
Where do you think the parents went? Where do you think the grandparents went out? Like to the movies, swing dancing? Like, got to be back by 9:30.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they're going out. I mean, if obviously we know what the secret is, but if they're escaped, as mental patients, they shouldn't be out in public because the chances of them getting recognized is highly increased. So yeah, they should just be if they're living this fantasy life with their fake grandkids, they should be at home, I think.
So Nana's third night and finding the camera. Like, first off, seeing the video of just Nana walking around, it reminded me of Step Brothers when the two boys are walking around when they're sleepwalking.
Yeah,
but then finding the camera. Do you reckon she found the camera? She saw the light.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. It was weird. Well, again, and this goes to the whole premise that we talked about before, how M. Night is trying to misdirect you into what these people are. Like, because she spotted the camera so quickly, I'm thinking she's got like extra senses or heightened senses or supernatural senses that she, like, if Leanne hit a camera somewhere or, Percy did, I wouldn't know. Like, I wouldn't find it straight away. You know what I mean? But the fact she found it straight away suggests to me that she's operating on like some other level.
Yeah. Getting the knife and then walking up to the room, placing the camera in the room, just standing outside the room, like F me dead. That was, and then when she's banging on the door. So this reminded me of a real life story. So when you used to have some deadbeat mates, I'm pretty sure me and two mates came home when we were like 16 or something, and there were some people there, and we went up to my room just to go to sleep. They were just sleeping over. And one of the guys walked in and he's like, "Have you seen Sarah?" We're like, "No, mate." We're like, "There's no Sarah here." Like, and he was like wearing gloves and he's like, "Oh," he put his hand in his face and he walked out. After that, one of us had a can of deodorant, another one had scissors, and the other one had a baseball bat. And we're like, "All right, if he walks into the room, you spray him, I'll whack him with the bat, and then like someone else starts stabbing him."
I can't believe I had friends like that. I really don't remember this.
So the next day, why aren't you running away? I was just thinking because it's their grandparents, and I guess they're like, well, they're not going to hurt us, are they? But like after watching the video, I'd be like, there's no way.
Yeah. Maybe they're sort of blaming it on like them acting weird at night, but being normal during the day.
So one of my favorite scenes, could be my favorite, interviewing Pop. I saw a white thing running around. It had yellow eyes. Like the guy is just, when he's talking about working in the factory, I was like, this guy is just
off his rocker.
Freaking. Yeah. And then the kids looking out the window, seeing Stacy arguing with the grandparents. Do you think Stacy went with them because she thinks she's taking them to the real couple?
Yeah, I think they knew that she was like Stacy was pretty much knew that they weren't the grandparents and the gig was up. So they obviously convinced her to come somewhere else for, ultimately meeting her demise. But, they convinced her to go somewhere.
Then Nana, story about the aliens. Their spit can make you sleep but not die.
Yeah, that was weird. And again, it goes back to M. Night trying to throw you off what the twist is.
Yeah, but Nana then crying in that same scene is amazing when like Becca's speaking to her. Like just that scene, how she
the last interview or whatever.
Yeah, trembling and stuff.
And what would you say to that little girl now?
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah.
Kids playing ball. Like, what the hell was that tennis game?
He's just throwing the ball up in the air and catching it.
Quick.
Not playing. Even I know that's not playing. Kids don't do that.
So then the reveal. So grandparents are probably outside discussing how they're going to kill the kids. Mum realizes it's not the parents. I was like, F me. As a parent, what would you do? I'd just be freaking out. I felt like the mum was pretty calm. She's like, guys, I've got something to tell you.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
be like losing it.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any neighbors for them to run nearby to as well. And I didn't realize it was the grandparents in the photo the first time with them. You know how you saw the couple?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Any thoughts on the reveal? I know you mentioned it earlier.
No, I love the reveal. I didn't see it coming, and that's when I had that fuck me moment, and like I got the hairs on the back of my neck, stood up and everything, and I'm like, oh wow, like this is awesome. So yeah, I was like, M Night, you got me again, mate. You got me again.
Oven scene 2, just like so dumb. I'd lose it when she shut the oven door. I'd hop out and I'd be like, nah, this is not cool. Like,
yeah,
I'd be absolutely losing it. Seeing Stacy, no scream, dead Stacy. It's a little bit weird, I thought.
Yeah, just hanging in the tree and no one says anything.
Well, Becca's just like, and then shuts the door.
But they didn't question it later. Hey, there's a dead lady hanging in the tree outside.
Yeah. So board game night with Yahtzee. Brad, have you ever played the Milton Bradley approved strategy?
Isn't it something else?
Because then she says it's now made by Hansbrough or something, but he's like, I'm using the Milton Bradley approved strategy, and like he's throwing. Oh no, he says Tyler's using the Milton Bradley approved strategy.
That was good. I've never seen it as such an intense game of Yahtzee ever. Yahtzee's a good game. It's never. Is
this where Pop shits himself while they're playing the game?
I think so. Or is it
at dinner or something earlier?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's like, yeah.
And then she leaves Tyler. I'm like, if I was Tyler, I'd be like, where are you going? Can I come? Yeah.
Can I say, if that were you and me trapped, and I'm like, hey, Jez, I'm just stepping out for a little bit. I'll be back. You'd be like, fuck off. I'm coming with you.
And then Nana eating the biscuits like a chipmunk, and then Yahtzee.
Yeah. It's all gone. It's all gone haywire then.
So basement discovery, or basement and then discovering the grandparents. So to me, that was just full Blair Witch vibes, or that whole time down there.
Yeah.
You're going to join them. Do you think the parents would be stinking, or the grandparents would be stinking?
Yeah, I think they would. But maybe, that's sort of, they're trying to explain away the mold and things like that. So maybe if someone did open the door and started walking out there, they'd smell the smell and be like, oh, okay, that's the mold, and then close the door. But yeah, it's probably not going to be good.
So Nana and Becca, bedroom scene, like put the camera down and take her out. Like, just use two hands. And the thing that kept annoying me was how she kept looking away. Like, it really pissed me off. Why? Like, why would you look away unless like she was moving the cat? Like, you got to be looking at her the whole time. It's dark. Like, what are you doing? And then when sorry, you go.
No, I was going to say, this goes to your point too, when it probably would have been a better movie if it wasn't camcord held, filmed the whole time. Like if it were, I appreciate those parts, but I think like if they're playing hide and seek under the house and they got the camcorder, that's a good time to have it. But I think in parts like this, like the fight scene between the daughter and the grandma, I think that would have been much better if it were a sort of, fly on the wall sort of thing, like you said.
Be pretty painful stabbing her with the broken glass or mirror. Like, you cut your hands.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I reckon you would too. Yeah, 100%.
You have a magic spell on you. So the poop scene, Brad, talk me through it.
I mean, this sort of cracks into an airing of grievance that I've got. I mean, is Tyler paralyzed? Like, why didn't he run away? Like when the grandpa's putting the shit diaper in his face, I didn't understand that. So
yeah, I had written down. I took it out though. Like, Tyler, you got to step up, man. You're 13. Like, this is maybe why you got cut from the team. Like, you got to. I wasn't sure though. Maybe he'd just been whacked in the head and he's like a little bit concussed, and he's probably just seen his sister get dragged upstairs. Like, he's 13 or something. Can I
say you just explained it away for me there, that he froze at the football game, and you just froze in that moment too. So you nailed it, Jez. I think that's the answer.
Well, I'll do you one better. It's just a Tyler redemption story, because he gets to make the tackle, and then the fridge to the head death. It's just great. I do enjoy a good fridge to the head death.
Yeah, that's always good.
Would you clean your face before running out to your mum and the cops?
I probably would. I don't know to what extent. Like, you're not going to go have a shower and suds it off.
My airing of grievance for this bit, which I'll say now, was his face was clean when he got to Mum because she's like touching his face and it doesn't look like there's any shit on it.
Yeah.
And then finally, Mum reveals why she left. So I felt she hit Mum pretty quickly for stepping in front of her as she's trying to leave. Like she hit her mum pretty quick because she cracked the mum, and then the dad hit her.
Yeah. I mean, because I don't think you should be laying hands on anybody, sadly. But yeah, I don't know if the dad's gonna assault the daughter for hitting the mum. You know what I mean? Like, if one of your daughters, hit your wife in anger, you're not gonna crack your daughter. Like, yeah. So,
what's your Hans Gruber? What's your favorite scene?
I think my favorite scene would have to be the twist reveal. Like, I was waiting for it all movie. It didn't disappoint. Like I said, it gave me goosebumps, and I didn't know that this was your 3 fucks, but I literally wrote "fuck me." Like it was really good.
My favorite was the scene where Nana finds the camera and then gets the knife and then's like standing outside the door.
Yeah, that's good too.
Enjoy it. My other one, as I mentioned, both grandparents' interviews, Papa working in a factory and Nana talking about aliens. Just great. Best quote.
I had when you sort of touched on it, when Becca goes, "It's Hasbro, not Milton Bradley, that makes Yahtzee now, Grandpa," and Tyler's like, going, he's looking, trying to smooth things over, and goes, "Well, I'm having fun," and I'm just like, why would you say that when you know that they're like fucking nut job night psychos? You're not gonna do anything that's gonna trigger them. So Tyler's save I thought was quite funny.
Mine was, "You're not as dumb as the score in the standardized form would indicate."
That's such a sibling quote. That's so good.
Best song or score?
I don't know
not
if
really too much music.
I don't know if you agree with this, but I had everything that wasn't Tyler rapping.
So I had the music at the board game night, which is apparently Possession by Les Baxter. It's sounds like a 1920s kind of music.
Okay.
Any pre-2000s? I got a couple.
I had handheld video recorders because this movie is 2015, so I think everyone had iPhones by then. So I think the iPhone's probably better quality now these days, even more so than handheld cameras. So that's only pre-2000s I could find.
I had no TV in the house.
Oh, nice.
Home phones, and then calling the cops and have to leave a voice message.
2 excellent ones at the end. That's good.
Benjamin Button, Brad, what's aged the best for you?
I had M. Night Does It Again, a great twist that I didn't see coming at all. So I really appreciated that. We mentioned it before. Like, I'm looking for the twist. I know it's an M. Night movie. I'm looking for the twist. But he got me. That was really good.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I had any others?
No.
I had using sundowning as a symptom. I enjoyed the twist and then picking up clues the second time watching it. Like, just as I mentioned, the grandparents are friggin' nuts. Family game night. Always love a family game night. I did enjoy the Sybil, the kids' banter.
Yep.
And then the ending credits using them as he raps, and then Becca's looking in the mirror, so she's kind of got a little bit of a redemption story. And then using my favorite, which I mentioned, using pop stars' names instead of swearing. So really
that's a good one. That's
got
a
to
good
commit
call,
to that.
That's a good one.
What staged the worst? I had no M. Night cameo. I felt like there's a couple of opportunities. Skype. Do we still have Skype? At times, the way that it was shot, as I said, kind of, I wasn't quite sure. Like, they could have done it. The main one for me, though, are the grandkids kind of shit. Like, not helping Nana when she's sick, filming her sundowning, filming Pop's nappies and the explanation, asking about the mum question 3, hilariously mocking Nan on the walk. Are they good to the grandparents?
I'm over here. I'm laughing ever since your Skype comment. Man, what a one-hit wonder that was. That's good. You know what? I don't know if it's age that's got you, Jeremy. You're looking for the worst in people, but I didn't think about it until you mentioned it. But yeah, you're right. Those kids are little shits. They're so bad.
Kind of shit. Like, when Nan's throwing up, you got to go look after her. And then my last thing that's aged the worst, thinking your dad left because you didn't stop her playing football.
Can you imagine that? You leave one of your kids and just like, no, I'm sorry, wife, it's over. The kid sucks at sport.
Anything for you that aged the worst?
I had one, and it was your first one, which is M. Night not having a cameo in this movie. I mean, surely he could have been one of the people rocking up. Like, come on, man. Like, that's what you're known for, too.
Yeah.
Like, just chuck it in there.
Who are you having a beer with?
Oh, easiest question you're going to ask me all night. It's the mum. I need to know more about how to offload my kids to some strangers so I can get a little bit of me time and take off on a cruise. So yeah, I need to pick her brain. Having a beer with her for sure.
I wrote Nan Nan while she's having a ciggy. Like, she seemed like she needed a gin and tea.
There you go. You get a little bit of pineapple upside down cake as well while you're having the G&T.
Yeah. So, goat cast. Who are you replacing, or who are you casting? Or was there anyone in the running that you saw?
Well, I mean, there's apparently thousands of American kids that we talked about with the two Aussie kids, but I don't think knowing what I know about this movie in terms of M. Night, giving it a crack with a really low budget just to prove himself, I don't think you need any big names in this movie. Like, if you had a budget of, say, 20 million, like, how much better would the movie have been? Like, it would have been the same thing and probably only made the same amount of money. So for me, I didn't have any other options or any other, sort of choices. So I think a bunch of unknowns was definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I only had that I would have, and I echo and agree with everything you said. The only thing I wrote down is I would have put M. Night in for either Miguel, the conductor, or Dr. Sam.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, they would have been good. Two good options. Yeah.
And on that, so what character could Bruce Campbell have played? And I wrote, or M. Night. So for me, Dr. Sam or Miguel for M. Night. What character would have Bruce Campbell played for you, or could have Bruce Campbell played?
Yeah, so I had him as one of the people rocking up to the house looking for the grandparents. So I had him going, "Afternoon, I'm just checking in. The old couple who usually live here come by my video store every Thursday. Haven't seen him in a bit. Everything all right in there? Maniac cop is overdue and needs to be returned. Be kind. Rewind, folks."
Nice one. I had the dad in the home movies at the end, so he wouldn't have any lines.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So does this movie deserve to be over 2 hours? It is not. It is an hour 39 or something. So to me, that's just the perfect length. Very happy, M. Night. You did it. Great. Good on you. No other thoughts. Brad, do you want to say anything on that?
No, I thought he smashed it. I know we have watched a couple of long movies recently. So this one, a nice, quick, easy 90-minute movie, told the story, told it well. Perfect. Great timing.
Porn title, Brad?
I had Fat Camp, but PH Fat. So Fat Camp, like cool camp. So it's a holiday camp where you send your kids to spend time with strangers so that you and your lover can take a swingers cruise, enjoy the motion of the ocean, a seafood buffet, and potentially some crabs.
Awesome. I didn't really have one, but I was trying to think of something around like Maple Shady Psychiatric Hospital. But I didn't want to do too much because I was a little bit nervous about like mental health and things like that. So I thought maybe I'll step out of it this time.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard.
Best proper outfit. What are you taking straight to the pool room?
Well, I wrote down two. So one of them definitely is the answer now after talking to you about this. Originally, I had Becca's camcorder, but now I think I really want the Yahtzee dice and the cup.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, that's what I really want.
I had the rocking chair just because I love rocking chairs.
Yeah,
and then
nice.
My second one was Pop Shotgun.
No, I'm just cleaning it.
So, Frederick Zola, best performance on or off screen, Brad? What have you got?
Again, not to fanboy, but I had M. Night. I mean, I think about the pressure to invest his own money after a bit of a fall from grace, to back himself, make something good, and be rewarded for it. Man, that's definitely worth a nod in my book. So yeah, well done to him.
Is that 2 episodes in a row? Sorry for you.
With the director? Yeah, I had AF on the last one and M. Night in this one. Yeah, for sure.
I love that about you. I had M. Night as my third. Not to say that I'm going to rank every single time, but I had the grandparents. I thought the grandparents were great, but it's really Nana. Just how, as I said, she was sweet, then to scary AF at times. Facials, like when she would smile and then it would change and get a little bit creepy or scary. And most importantly, Brad, she's got a great ass.
Yeah, she definitely did it for us. Even in not even in just in the naked scene, but when after crawling out from the
Yeah.
hide and seek, yeah, you saw a bit of it then. Yeah, I in terms of the actors, I thought she was easily the best one.
Okay. What happens after the credits?
So I had Becca, who can't stand looking at herself in the mirror, develops an eating disorder and later stars on My 600-Pound Life. I had Tyler drops out of school and pursues a rapping career, which fails. Washed up and no education, and now no fear of germs thanks to fake pop pop, pursues a career in refuse. And then I had the mother, after skipping her parents' funeral, is later arrested after her Google searches on how to abandon your children goes viral.
I had so I took this if the grandparents didn't die. So grandparents go back to the psych ward. However, they send Becca and Tyler a Christmas card every year.
Nice.
I also had the mum either moves into the house or she knocks it down and then builds another house to move into. And then I had Tyler makes the football team, gets knocked the F out in his first game, and then becomes Macklemore, the rapper.
Nice. That's good too. I like that.
So my theory corner, which I sort of touched on, is a little bit like, I love how this movie plays on like the instant trust and safety that you feel around a bunch of strangers as soon as you know or you think that they're your family members. So, if you're meeting someone on the street and you're like, oh, it's kind of a bit weird. But if it comes out the cuz, you're like, hey, cuz, bro, how it's going? Like, if you kind of, when you go overseas and you meet relatives of relatives for the first time, they have you over, you sleep at their house, you have dinner with them. They've never met you before, but they know that hey, your mum's kid, or hey, you're your dad's kid. We're family. Of course, we're going to look after you. And it's sort of role reversal as well when it kind of the shoe's on the other foot with us. And I love how the movie plays on that. How the characters are never met, but they're related, so you got to look after them. You can live with them, and you're safe around them.
Yeah, that's really good. That's a really good theory. As you were saying that, I immediately thought of the Griswolds' European vacation where they stay with the family in Germany that they think, but it's the wrong house, and they're all acting like they're part of the family. And they're all hugging and cuddling and making dinner for each other and chatting and stuff. Yeah, you're so right. If you think someone's family, you completely treat them different to how you would like any other sort of stranger.
Did you have any other theories? I know you touched on yours
No,
earlier.
I did my one early just so you wouldn't spoil it. Like you usually spoil them, and then I'm sort of playing catch up at the end. So I thought I'd go straight in with it.
The Dom Toretto, what's your life lesson, Brad?
My best life lesson was even if you dislike your family, make sure you add them on social media so that you can get an updates and see photos of what they look like.
Yeah, I had similar, knowing what your family members look like before you stay with them. My other two, this is for all the parents out there. It only takes a couple of days looking after kids to go nuts. And then
yes,
this was, I'm pretty sure, a quote in the movie. People leave because they find something in life better. Brutal.
Whoa,
Brutal.
That's good. That's very insightful. I like that.
Airing of grievances. Got a lot of problems with you people, so I've got a couple, but I'll go first. So I got a lot of problems with the mum. So first of all, I wrote down when I watched it, why would the mum not drop them off? She hasn't seen them in 19 years. They've never met the kids. Like, I'm not even that real responsible. If the reason is bad, why she wouldn't let them go in the first place? And then I wrote can delete. And I was like, okay, I could delete this. But the mum, when it comes out,
right.
Even at the end, when she's like, oh, after I had the fight with my parents, they reached out to me and I never got in contact with them. And then the parents reached out again to meet the grandparents over this email chain, not one photo shared with either person.
You're so right.
What's going
How about
on?
an update? Here's Tyler at his 5th birthday. What are you guys up to? Oh, here's a photo of us in Hawaii. Yeah, and you're so right. And the fact that no, I don't want to drop them off. I don't want anything to do them. But yeah, you can spend a week with them. That's all good. Yeah, that's funny.
And then when Becca's like, Mum, I need to tell you something. And at first she's not really in a hurry to go get them. She's like, oh, you know how long that will take me in the car? Which, again, that's probably me as well. But still, And then the only other thing I had is how did they buy all the food supplies for the week? Or do you think it was just that it was already there and they kind of came over a couple of days before?
Maybe that's what they were doing when they were out during the day.
Yeah.
They'll go to the shops and buying food. Yeah.
And I like
that's a
that Nan Nan's still a good cook, even though she's been in a psych ward for
Yeah.
however long.
Nan's-
Any area group?
Nan's cooking is always good. We already touched on two of mine. Obviously, I thought Tyler's rap was pretty cringe. And I asked why Tyler was paralyzed in that diaper scene. But my other one left over was if the fake Pop wants to kill himself when they catch him with the shotgun, why don't they just let him go ahead and kill himself? You know what I mean? He's like, I'm just cleaning it. I'm like, okay, man, if you're going to kill yourself, that's cool. But
She didn't know.
she didn't know. Yeah. Okay. She didn't know he was a fake one at the time. So yeah. All right. I should have wrote add delete on that one.
Letterbox rating.
I gave it 3 stars and I said worth a visit.
Nice. So I really enjoyed it. I think I was a little bit too excited after I saw it the first time. I gave it 4 stars, but I had a super settle down juice, and yesterday I changed it to 3.5 stars. But again, had everything that I liked in the horrors. The ending got me. Like the twist was fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like normally in some horror movies, that twist or that ending is like, oh my god, like really, like that's stupid. But this was great. Rewatchable factor, Brad. You gonna watch it again?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned like twists in other movies and stuff. Like some of them are just so predictable, which is why I like M Night so much, because I don't think they are. So, but like all M Night movies, or nearly all, I should say, once you absorb that twist or that emotional payoff, they probably aren't as good the second time. But that's what I like about his movies. Like you only need to see it once, and then you can appreciate it for ages. So I wouldn't trade that feeling in for anything else. And I think he does do that really great. But yeah, I mean, it's not one that you go watch, the next week or the next year, because you already sort of know the answer to it.
I enjoyed the movie, and I'll definitely watch it again. Probably like not straight away, but I will be watching it over the years. I'd be pairing it with Misery. Brady pairing it with any movies, just because I guess it's in the same house again, and she starts off sort of half normal and then goes crazy.
I haven't seen Misery, so I might need to check that one out.
I won't spoil it for you. We'll put it on the list. It's great.
Put it on the list.
Kathy Bates, I think she wins an Oscar for it.
Does she? All right, let's chuck it on.
James Caan.
Okay, no, I like James Caan. So I said if you like those camera angles, like we talked about, like with that low budget, maybe check out Blair Witch Project. Or if you want a twist and you've never seen M Night before, definitely go check out Sixth Sense. But yeah, you've probably already seen all those movies anyway, to people listening.
Final thoughts, Brad.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I really appreciated it even more knowing the personal sacrifice that M. Night went through to put this together, especially like, I've been in career situations before where, I've moved to like other places to back myself to get back up to the top. And that's such a good feeling when you do accomplish that. Yeah. So he should feel really proud for this movie. Yeah, I really appreciate him as an artist, and I really appreciated this movie.
Shit doesn't taste like chicken.
I don't know if it's been sitting out in the barn for a few days.
Mailbox. Oh, I love it as well when he's like, "I never liked you anyway."
Yeah,
what did
was
he
a
say?
great
You're
quote.
the most. I didn't like you the most, or something like that. So harsh. Come on, pop.
Such a good quote.
Any mailbox?
No mailbox, sadly. But yeah.
Okay, well, alrighty, boys and girls, that's going to do us for another episode. Reminder, like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you've got any thoughts, inthemoodforamovie@gmail.com. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram, inthemoodforamovie. Next time, I believe we've got a special guest, and we're doing
Unforgiven.
That's it, Clint Eastwood, and we've got a special guest for that.
We do. Special guest, Paul. He's a big fan of the pod. We'll ask him about his set. He's got the most amazing setup at his house to watch movies, so we'll ask him about that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Never seen it. Haven't seen a few of these older Clint Eastwood movies, so I need to get into these westerns.
I love westerns, so I'm very much looking forward to revisiting that. Thank you, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good one, guys.